What's up, comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. We got a ton of books, so we're gonna get through them as quickly as possible. We're gonna do it all right after this. Welcome back. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the books. First off, we got some 50 centers. We only got 3. Theme is foil goodness. So we got Youngbloods from Image #1. We got the gold foil cover. So we got that going for us. And then we got Darkhawk #25. Some good 90s. Some 90s goodness here. Always 90s goodness. We got that fold out poster. Boom, boom, shakalaka laka, boom. Chief Rocka won't strut. All right, so we're gonna fold that back in there. This guy got a little rabbit ear, but whatever. And then last but not least, what's foily goodness from the 90s without a Turok #1? All right, those were this week's 50 centers. Now, let's get into the new books from this week. First, we're gonna start off. These aren't the new books. These are books that I got from previous weeks, but I frequent a couple of LCSs, and I like to give my business to some other places. So I'll put some books on hold, and when I get a chance, I go and pick them up. Boom. So here's my top 3 reads out of the older books. We got Two-Face #1, All In. Two-Face creates a court to help solve a bunch of problems. He's kind of gotten rid of the Two-Face persona, if you will, and he's operating just as Harvey Dent, and he thinks this is kind of like his way back into the good graces of Gotham and the law system. Read it, it's fun. Next up, we got Batman Dark Patterns. This is a detective story here. This is We Are the Wounded Part 1. Good read. It's a very much detective Batman. It's also kind of a dark Batman, which we get a lot of these days. Last but not least, we have Daredevil #16. This was the spoiler variant. We don't actually get this scene in here, but we do get to see Daredevil without his, Bullseye without his arm. Interesting story. Yeah, I would definitely check it out, give it a read. Daredevil right now is fighting the sins, like these devils that represent sins. So like, gluttony, pride, avarice, those things. So boom, and he's got to defeat them all. All right, now we're gonna get into some other books. I didn't read this one. We got Spider-Boy 13. We're continuing on with that Spider-Girl story. And like I said, we're gonna do this fast, guys, because we got a lot of books. We got the Ultimates #7. Why did I put this in here? Because I didn't show it the last time I showed my book. Celine Yup cover, right? This is with the android Human Torch. So not Johnny. All right, I believe this is a book from this week, so we're gonna hold off on that one, and we'll hold that till we get to this week's books. But we do have, I did catch up on Superman Action Comics, and this week the weeklies stopped, so going into next month it goes back to being a monthly book, which is good. That's good for the wallet. But we read and this was part of the Phantoms. A bunch of baddies got out of the Phantom Zone. A lot of Kryptonians that were bad, and other bad guys, and they captured them all. Anyway, this was week 9, I guess. So this was issue 1078 of Action, and it wasn't bad. Mark Waid wrote this. He's doing the Justice League Unlimited now. This is what 280 and 281 came out this week. We read some Absolute Wonder Woman, issue #2. We also, Absolute Batman. As you can see here, there's a signature right there. That was Scott Snyder. He went to one of the local LCSs, and I got this signed by him. I actually went in that day, but I couldn't stay for the signing. So I left my book, and Scott signed it. So awesome. And then we got G.I. Joe #1. This is one of the variant covers of the second print, I believe. Could be the third print. I believe it's the second print though. All right, let's get into this week's books. We'll start off with the indies. We got Rat City number 9. Didn't read it yet. Still got to catch up. We got Sam and Twitch number 9. Didn't read it yet. Still got to catch up. But we got Void Rivals number 15, and we got Hot Rod out there, and he's, making some noise. He's meeting some of the inhabitants of this planet, and he's trying to devise a safe way to harvest energon and create like a trade route, if you will. Trying to be a good guy, not a bad guy like the Decepticons, right? Not trying not to just come in and completely take over the planet. We're switching gears now from the indies to DC. We got Superman number 21. Didn't read it, but look, save the date. And who's that down there? Oh, we know that guy. That's the guy who killed Superman. All right, we finished Action Comics 1081. And by the end of this, all was pretty much restored, right? Baddies are sent back, right, to the Phantom Zone. They kind of tricked them into it, but sent them back. And all is right with the Superman family for now. We also read Wonder Woman number 3. We find out that she actually is missing a limb. It's part of the way Steve Trevor got back to Earth, because Steve Trevor ends up in hell. We've been reading the series. It's a really interesting book, really interesting take on Wonder Woman. I'm enjoying it. Check out all the Absolute titles, because they're all pretty good. With that being said, we have Justice League Unlimited issue number 2. Right, Justice League is still kind of figuring things out and getting together. This is the Simon DeMeo cover. I think we're heading towards something in this book, but right now I think we're still getting our bearings, piecing together the team, and that's cool. It's a good book, good read. Exceptional X-Men number 4. I believe this is the only X-Men title that I'm kind of up to date on. It's good. If you like a more man, what happened to Krakow was effed up, what do we do from here type of thing, right? You want a less action, more thought. And basically, we have Kitty, right, and the White Queen kind of putting together this team of young X-Men. And then Bobby Drake here shows up, Iceman. And it kind of gets revealed that Kate did some shady stuff, and it's like, oh man. One of the kids was like, "What? You did that?" And the next issue is probably going to be the fallout from that and them dealing with that situation. We did miss one DC books. This is Detective Comics. All right, and yeah, it's Detective Comics. I believe Ram V is still writing it. Nope, he's not writing it. I'm sorry. I think, is it Tom Taylor? But yeah, Ram V moved on to New Gods, and that's actually a really good read. Let's see. Yeah, Tom Taylor. That's my Australian accent. Tom Taylor. I'm Tom Taylor. That's all I got for you. All right. But no, Detective Comics pretty good. I didn't get to read that one yet. Switching gears back to Marvel, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 64. He finally figures out how to defeat one of these scions of Sidorak, or did he? I think they're just playing games with him. And Spider-Man's probably gonna die in the next issue. I mean, it's called the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. You can't advertise 8 deaths and then not die 8 times. All right, the New Gods. We were talking about that. Number 1, Ram V is writing this. Basically, there is a godlike, maybe it is a new god, born on Earth. And, well, Orion has been tasked with killing that god because apparently there's some prophecy, and this could be either a good thing or a bad thing. There's a 50-50 shot, as most things are, right? There's a 50-50 shot, and basically the New Gods, primarily this dude, is like, we can't have that, so you gotta kill it. And then Orion goes to Mr. Miracle and is like, hey, dude. And Mr. Miracle just had a baby of his own. Him and Big Barda just, in their own. Oof, they're in it. And he goes to Mr. Miracle. It's like, hey, man, you gotta find this guy and you gotta keep it away from me because I'm gonna do what I've been told to do by, the All-Father, whatever. And he's like, man, I got a kid. I can't do that. I'm way too busy. And Barda's like tired all the time because she's over there running with the the sirens, and then she's over there doing this, and she's being a mom, and basically, Mr. Miracle, Scott Free's got to decide if he's gonna help save this baby or not. All right, and then last but not least, and I guess I missed this when I did the other indies, is House of Slaughter number 28, and you know what? I didn't read it, so that's it. So guys, that was my new comic book day haul plus review with all these books. We had some 50 centers in there. We had a ton of books. I got some reading to catch up on coming into the new year. I wish all of you happy holidays. I hope every holiday that passed or is still going on has been pleasant and great for you, and I wish you the best and the most luck and the most whatever it is you desire in the new year, all right? And share some of that goodness with me. We can all use a little extra, all right? So comic fans, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get ready for the comics in 2025. Ha! Peace. Deuces. We're out. We out. We're out. We're gonna get into it all right after this.